Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abram. You know my partner Albert Kev. You know, we talk a lot about streaks and wins in a row and this and that. Sometimes track and field goes, just under the radar a little bit, but not a Fitch.
No.
Gee.
When we talk about Fitch track, we're talking about boys and girls. The boys won their 10th straight Mahoney County Track and Field Championships, and the girls took their 8th out of 9 this year as the Fitch track and field continues to dominate. DeAndre McKeever for the Fitch boys won both the long jump and the high jump, and took 2 first place for home for them. For the Falcons, Madison Skelly broke the record in the pole vault with a record of jump of 10.6. Just a couple that have came through big time. We also had some runners in that meet that did great. Deshante Allen.
Talk about that, Al. You got her doing, I guess she can do about anything.
Yes.
So now, if you're the coach, you don't want to leave her there. She can't walk to the medal stand. How do you do that? You're a track coach. What do you do?
Well, four events you're allowed.
Okay.
And in the team, as a team, you're looking at the team results and trying to put her where she needed for the team to win. On this day, you're allowed the individual to shine, and they allowed her to shine in that. But in the 100-meter hurdles, the long jump, and 800-meter relay, and the 300 hurdles, she kicked first place 3 times and third in the 300 hurdles. They picked them out exactly for her.
It's a wonder she could even move.
And there's enough time between the events when there's that many teams there.
Oh, okay.
That's why. They went one after the other. She knows she's so athletic. I saw her quote that they had tried to pick the perfect 4 events for her that day, and she hadn't run the 300 hurdles for a long time, but she still did good enough to come in 3rd place. That's one thing about track and field. Once you do something, it's like riding a bike. You come back and do it. The only thing is the training for it. Sometimes you might be a little out of shape, but the technique is there. Congratulations to Deshante Allen from East by being named the girls' most outstanding girl. And in boys, Michael Dunham of Boardman won that award. He was victorious in the 1,600 and 3,200 meter run, and was part of the 3,200 meter relay team. It came in first. George, you'll see different. One was a speed merchant. The other was a distance runner.
I think he ran 32, right?
Yep.
Ran the 16.
Yep.
Then he ran 8. Is his part of
it? 5,600 total yards for the meters for the day.
My Lord!
And when you look at track and field,
ran's the key word though.
Yes.
Ran. The other average person out for the night jog. No,
never. There's no joggers. No, there's no joggers. They run hard in all events.
Yeah.
What's interesting about the winners of these awards, one a sprinter, one a long distance runner. That's why you go out for track and field. You people like track and field. There's a place for you. You might be able to jump. You might be able to throw.
You might be short.
Yes.
Does it matter if you're short?
No. And so you can do whatever you want in track and field. Just have to get in shape. You have to train in the off season, but you have an opportunity to be like Deshante, and you have the chance to be like Michael and come home with the award someday. Congratulations to both of them for their work. Also in the local area, we have a new coach at Youngstown State in men's and women's swimming, and that is Brad Smith. Congratulations to Brad, George.
Yeah.
I like when somebody pays their price ahead of time. You know, he just didn't say, okay, I was down the local pool, and I should have had this job.
Yeah. My uncle knows so-and-so. No, he earned it.
He was at Bingham for 6 years, set 39 records, and both his programs are honored for the success in the classroom, boys and girls. He also was at Western Colorado as an assistant coach. He was at Maine. These guys pay the price. These are the guys I want to get jobs, George, not the Chris Mullins of the world.
Yeah.
Just because they can play a sport.
Yeah, woke up on third base, thought they hit a triple. No, they said the guy doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to. Well, then that's fine, but don't make him the head coach.
So I'm glad that Coach Strollo has done his diligence.
Yeah, he did.
He looked at it and said, listen, this guy deserves this coaching job. He understands boys and girls. He understands the work behind it. He understands the area. He understands the size of the school, what needs to be done. Good job, Coach Strollo, with your hiring of Coach Smith.
Yeah, I like when somebody's paid their dues at 2-3 different places.
So do I.
All right, let's talk Major League Baseball. One of the big stories in baseball has to be the Pirates starting pitching, we knew it would be good. We didn't know it would be this good.
Yeah, I said last year that I called my buddy and said, if they get hitting at all, they're going to be in it all year because their pitching is going to be so dominant. And it's been really dominant. And
Talk about the starters.
Yeah,
like Taillon's the best known, but his numbers are the worst.
Yeah,
it's early.
Yeah, he's the best though. And well, let's put it this way: he's the best on paper with his stuff.
All right.
But Williams was dominant last year.
Okay.
And he's come back dominant. He has that dominant pitch that Rivera taught everybody. The movement of the fastball going the other way. And you also have Archer pitching tremendous. Came in that trade from Meadows and Glasnow, and I guess he's doing wonders with the pitchers, helping him out. He's a very positive guy. You like that with him. Musgrove came in the trade for Cole. Is pitching better than Cole. Nobody's mentioning it, but he is. He's got great stuff also. And Lyles came from Houston. So a lot of guys are free agents.
Let's talk about him for a minute. I'm looking there and said, who's this fifth guy? The guy, he come in there. They didn't touch him.
He was dominant too, yes. They've all been dominant. It's early. It's sort of about one thing it shows that they're playing different than anybody else. The big three in baseball is home runs, walks, and strikeouts. Pittsburgh doesn't do any of them. They're first in the league with no strike. They don't strike out at all. They're first there. They'll take a lot of pitches and then put the ball in play. Put the ball in play more than anybody in baseball, George. And I know that people don't like this dinosaur talking about it. But if I have pitching and put the ball in play, I think you have a chance to win in this world of let's all hit a home run, let's all strike
Swings
out.
from the hill, more strikeouts than hits. It's a lot.
So you got to root for the Pirates. They're playing old school. They're moving on the base pass. They're doing a lot of different things, and they're playing without their starters. You're talking about Dickerson and Polanco haven't probably played at all, and Marte just went out.
Marte's the one. I'm nervous
Well,
because he's not a regular guy.
no, he's not. But I get it. He's the one that came out unscathed of the injury. Gonzalez was out for 60 days.
He has the
He's only out for
abdomen
10.
injury
Yeah, so when you see a 10-day list,
they hit
he's
hard.
okay.
They hit
I
hard.
saw it. Oh my
They
gosh.
hit hard.
They did.
They hit hard, and that's not the first time Matt Gonzalez has run into somebody.
Yeah, and their bullpen has let them down, but they have bullpen arms. And so I have no doubt they're going to.
He's coming.
Yeah, when you look at the rest of the division, their bullpens stink. So Pittsburgh quit hanging around just hope Cubs bullpen stink. Milwaukee lost their two of their top guys.
Mm-hmm.
And St. Louis has a young kid, hopefully Hicks, trying to close with great stuff, but never has been in that situation.
No.
It's a good time to be the Pirates. We'll see if they can hold on because their hitting is so weak.
Now we know
We'll
their
see.
hitting's weak.
Yeah, it is.
So they have to get Polanco in the lineup. They have to have their hitters in the lineup.
And they all have to have career years.
And if they have them, they could be in there.
Yeah, because their pitching's that good. It's not going away. See, when you get this kind of stuff, and you got young staff, and he's not throwing, and Hurdle, and not his Hurdle, everybody in baseball doesn't use innings, so they're only going to pitch 5 or 6 innings. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be healthy all along.
Except for Bauer.
That's
We're going to talk about Bauer in a minute. He had something happened to him yesterday. He lost. Something happened. The game's over. And he makes.
Because they lost. That's why.
Well, they lost.
That's what happened.
And the one Donald. These guys are hitting shots. But the point is this: he said, "I don't like the fact that they're trying to put the ball in play and foul." And the guy for the other team, he says, "I don't know what's wrong with him." He said, "If he's not," he said, "I can't quite. What's he talking about?"
We're so used to doing that. See,
blowing people up.
Well, major people they let them blow them away because they on 0-2. They're
would
swinging
never
over the
choke
fence.
up,
Never,
right,
never. But that's what Atlanta did. Now, they didn't get Bauer. Bauer pitched well, but he saw it happen. And you have your bullpen blows a 7-1 lead in the 9th inning. That's a game you'll never get back. No. But it went to 7-3, and I was kind of nervous they were going to lose the game, and they did. But Bauer's an all-star. He's that kind of stuff. But it's used to the baseball today, George. It's just every pitcher.
He's mad that they don't want to strike out,
think about
and nobody said anything.
I know.
I'm like, are you?
And they're not going to. They're not going to. Because everybody thinks the same way he does.
They're trying to.
Yeah, we're supposed to try
We're
to
hitting
strike.
for the
We're trying to hit the home
fence.
run.
Let me ask you about him. Pitch count doesn't seem to matter when he's on the mound.
Well,
They keep these other guys 80, 90, 106, 116.
He throws 3 or 4 different pitches. His arm angle is perfect for throwing. He's not going to get himself injured. And I tell you one thing, Franco's probably going to call you and say, we're going to start getting him out there at 90. Because if they keep him at 106, 116, remember, it's a long baseball
It'll
season.
come August.
Yes, it's a long baseball
Hey,
season.
let me ask you, if the Indians had a closer, could they be dangerous?
Yeah, Hand's a decent pitcher. I think it's the Bridge. I think it's more the Bridge than it is Hand.
No.
I like Hand. I don't mind Hand being in there.
Bridge is everything.
But that Bridge is everything today's world because people are going out in the 6th inning, George.
Yeah.
Every game. Very seldom is somebody pitching eighth inning.
Now let me ask you about
sixth.
something. If you're the strength coach of the New York Yankees, are you looking into one ads? Now this is not. This is 15 guys now.
And they're starters. They're big time players. Judge just went down also now, and they're not sure. Those oblique muscles, which I don't have any, that they continue to strain those muscles because they're so built. Whatever it is, they work on it so much these days. But I would be nervous. I think let's put it this way. I'd be checking to see what they're doing. I'd have to see because when you got 15 guys on the disabled list, you need to see what they're doing.
Your nephew always says, "Get in major league shape." Do that first.
You know, I'm gonna call it devil's advocate of that. I think they're getting in too good a shape.
Too much lifting.
Yes. Too much.
Not enough
John
stretching, not enough reps.
Smoltz said. He said, "Listen, I don't want to look like that. When I pitched, I didn't want to look like Hulk. The batters, I don't want to look because now you got muscles that you can pull."
Well, Smoltz
I know it doesn't
is a
sound
golfer,
right.
and he doesn't look like that.
Yeah, I know it doesn't
No,
sound right.
I know. I'm listening.
But if you want, but that's why the strength guys.
Because
So
when
important.
we were kids, they didn't lift.
Now the strength coach is important.
Remember, boxers didn't lift.
Get your flexibility.
Yeah.
Get your whatever has to go with it.
And here's the other thing. Let's take it while we're at it because we're older. What were we always told? If you want to make a muscle stronger, what do you do?
Yeah, use it.
Use it. So we're going to shut you off at 80 pitches.
Right.
That makes no sense.
No, it goes hand in hand with the hitters. They don't go out and take batting practice anymore. They just stay in the cage, off the tee. Things have changed so much. I'd be stupid on the show to say that lifting and stretching isn't good.
No.
It's the best thing in the world. But you better know if you got muscles everywhere now, that you better stretch them out really good because there's a chance you could pull.
That I agree
Yeah.
10,000%. Over the weekend, we like Minnesota this year as a sleeper, and they get rained out Friday, and I'm always worried because I know, like, at the end of the year, they're not going to make up the Baltimore game because Baltimore's going to have 100 losses.
Right.
So they go in and they played 2 on Saturday, and they hit like 11 home runs. Now
Bauer liked to face them. That's what Bauer wants to play against.
This Baltimore pitching must just be.
It was that day. 11 home runs. That's all you got to know. That day, Minnesota was feasting. They were laughing. They were saying, "Geez, oh man!"
Yeah,
in one day, that's Little League baseball.
No, that's
minor
worse.
league.
Yeah.
But that's what Baltimore is.
Yeah,
Baltimore truly is a minor league team.
And then that dude Davis, they gave all the money to.
Yes.
Now, I saw this film yesterday.
$92 million.
These two guys were playing pepper. This infielder was playing pepper with one of the old-time coaches. Albert, I swear to God, the guy wasn't 20 feet away. And he was pounding that ball at this dude. And the dude was just...
Their hands are quick, right?
Like I've never seen
Major leaguers. That's
like
that's
I've
why.
never... But I mean, you had to see it. Because you know what a pretty nice-looking athlete... You could tell an athlete.
Yes.
This guy was not 15 feet away, and he's pounding. And that guy... You couldn't even see the ball.
How quick they are.
Make them-
It's nice to see that. It's nice to hear that. Dude.
Somebody practice.
Yes,
Let's
I like
talk
that.
NBA. There's several mismatches. We'll talk about the biggest one first, Milwaukee and Detroit. They can't make the line large enough.
No, they didn't. And without Griffin, he tried to play last time and he couldn't play. He was hurt. He had to go out.
He's
Yeah, he couldn't play. So without him, you take your best player out, and Milwaukee had most wins in the league. That one definitely is a miss. But you can tell by the lines. Anytime the lines are 15, 14, 13 up in that area.
It's tonight. It's 14.
It's going to be high.
He must not be playing.
It was 13 on the last game, so the same thing. So I'd be interested. But I'm saying this, that in the NBA, that's why it's like the NHL. The 8 teams, number 8 teams are really garbage. See, the NHL, the 8 teams are very close to the first team.
Well, they beat 2-1. We're going to talk about that.
But in the NBA,
no.
They're mismatches.
They could make that 5.
They're mismatches.
Should they make that 5?
I don't. They want money. They want that money. They can make it. They can make it 3 to me. But because they're going all, it's just that every one looks like a mismatch to me. It's just too easy.
Orlando, Toronto, same way too. Orlando jumped them in game 1. I don't know what Toronto was doing. They must have been out
It
late
was
the
Toronto,
night
not
before.
Orlando, right? It was Toronto how they played. Question.
Yeah,
That's
a good
Yeah, if
point.
you play your best ball, we're winning that game.
And if they play average, they'll win.
Yeah, it's just average.
Night.
Yes.
Okay,
Good way to say
Philly,
it.
Brooklyn. 2 things about Philly. One, they're extremely talented. If there's one guy you'd say to me, you can remove one guy. You know how they get those machines and they try to get those
Hook 'em
toys?
out, huh?
You know, I'd hook old Embiid. He'd have to go. I couldn't watch it.
And what don't you like about him, Pete?
Everything. Where do you want me to start? He's Wilt Chamberlain size and he's a swingman. but I can't take him.
But the thing I don't like about him is he doesn't play hurt. That's
Oh, no, he won't.
No. He's one of those guys that doesn't know the difference between injured and hurt.
No.
And you're going to be hurting. It's a long season. You're going to have aches and pains. But when you're injured, that means you can't get off the couch. You can't get out of the chair. He'll be walking around the sideline watching the game.
Yeah,
Looks like he's okay.
And he's always screwing around. Always with some laughing on the bench. He's got a phone.
Yeah, that one was nasty. That was a nasty one. When he had the phone, when he was looking at his buddy's phone
I have
on
no
the bench.
time for him.
They ain't getting rid of him.
Oh,
no, he's too talented.
no,
They're not gonna get rid of him.
I'd go first. Like
Yes.
if I went in there and I said, "Listen, you got to get rid of Embiid," they'd say, "Where do we send your check?" Because I would be going.
Yes.
Golden State.
Same thing. Clippers are garbage. Because Golden State's not playing good.
No.
They're not playing good. They're just toying with them. They probably have another gear, but the Clippers are just they're not. They
Doing
can't
the best
guard a
they
soul.
can.
Yeah, they're an 8th team.
How about
that shouldn't be in the
stinking
playoffs.
Clay?
They shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Clay, he comes in. He hadn't played well, and he came in and he was banging it.
Well, that's it. That's why Golden State's so dangerous. If Thompson is shooting well and you already got Curry and Durant, there isn't a way to stop him, really. They could put up 130 every game.
I saw Durant pull up off the dribble the other day 3 times behind the line. I wonder what you're supposed to do. He's 7 foot.
You can't. If he's hitting that shot, Golden State's winning.
And he's way up here.
You have to hope that game he's Durant when he was at Oklahoma City where he missed him and they lost. Because if they're making him, because Curry doesn't miss at all, shooting
Curry's not.
59% from three. Think about 59%
Curry's
from
not
three.
missing.
Best shooter of all time.
No.
Yeah, best shooter of all
You know,
time.
I have to take it back because I used to say he wasn't.
Well, it's my mind. I see all the other shooters.
No.
He gets the ball off so fast.
No.
And it doesn't matter how far out he is.
And how
either.
about this? You think it's going in?
Oh, yeah, when he misses, it's a surprise.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the other thing.
Yes.
The best series, Denver, San Antonio. San Antonio's still in that stinking game 1 was big, but as I analyze the 2 teams, I've seen 4 games, Denver wins.
Yeah, Denver came in second in the league, and so they should win and be disappointed if they don't win. They got a better depth of players. They're all the way down to their bench. The Murray kid can really play. They have enough players. Even Josic who can go off and score 30 at any time. San Antonio, Popovich, once again he loses. Runs out, won't talk to the press. I don't understand him. He always talks about all this good stuff he does.
I don't like
and he
that.
probably does.
Yeah.
But you got to handle the good and the bad both, George. He doesn't do it.
That's why I was thinking with Tiger Woods years ago when he lost, he didn't want to talk.
It's easy when
He
you win,
seemed to have grown up now.
I hope he has.
Now let's talk about this. If I say you before the game, I said, Al, you got Houston tonight. Okay. Harden's going to go 0 for 15 in 3 quarters. You say, I don't want them. They can't
Right.
win.
Still win. I know. They
What's
still
that
won
tell
the
you?
game. They still won the game. They're better defensively now than people give them credit. That's why. People keep saying they don't play defense. We had a caller in that said they don't. They're in the top 3 in defense.
No. They play
No, they play defense this year. Claude could protects the rim. Harden's better defensively. They give him credit
They
for
rebound.
And they rebound like crazy, and they hit threes. They have the perfect formula to win the championship. But when Harden's over 15, you think he's going to win. What I didn't like, he kept taking bad shots.
No, he doesn't stop shooting.
That's
No.
one thing. He's not going to quit
No,
shooting.
no.
And later on, they started fouling him, so he lived at the foul line. Didn't make many shots. He made
Right,
2.
right.
But he'll draw fouls to get to that foul line. Houston's dangerous. George and I both think they're winning it.
Yeah, we do.
That's what we think we're going to stay with. We won't back off our choice. We never back off
No,
of the money.
we're got Houston.
We both like Houston's going to win. Think
NCAA football, Georgia has their spring game. I heard there were more pros running. They said their linemen, they're like Christmas or Noah's Ark. They got 2 of everything.
Well, that's the team I'm picking to win the national championship next year. I've already penciled in.
Well, you got Swifty.
I already put money on it already.
You got Swifty.
I just think they have
From.
better players
Okay.
than anybody in the country, and I am including Alabama next year. I think
said
Alabama lost all their players.
They said they have a bunch of receivers come. That's the one area. They were a little thin. They said they got 4 or 5 stars coming in.
Georgia is loaded. Here's what you see, and you know Georgia how loaded they are when you see 5 stars as their second teamers. In every other place, like Alabama's the only other one that did that.
Yeah.
And Clemson is getting there too.
Yeah.
But Georgia now has 5 stars playing second team. And they have a quarterback back for the 3rd year. They got a great running back. They got receivers coming wherever. Their defense is good. I really like Georgia this year. Georgia played Alabama tough this year. It wasn't like Alabama just went and crushed them.
I think they were ahead like 58 minutes of the 2 games.
Yeah. So I think Georgia's going to team to beat next year. I really like Georgia next year for the NCAA football.
Penn State. We scooped the guy Saturday. Saturday, guy calls our show, big Ohio State fan. Says, all this, all that. I said, what about Penn State? He said, what do you mean? I said, the quarterback left.
Yeah, Stevens
He
is
said,
gone.
what? I have two things on that. One, he waited his turn 3 years. He was loyal. Two, he's worried about his pro draft stock. If he's that good, he shouldn't have to have the coach guarantee him the job.
Yeah, that second one is the only one I care about. That the word is compete. And I don't want the coach to tell you have the job. And when has that been part of the criteria that he went in to ask? He said, no. There's a kid that's playing right with you. You're going to compete with him. I don't want to hear that. I want the job. He said, I waited. No, there's no, I don't care if you wait 13 years. I'm not guaranteeing
They
you a
said
job.
that 2 years ago, McSorley barely beat him out.
He did. That's how good Stevens is.
Oh, boy.
So what can I say?
Where's he going to end up, Bill?
I don't know.
It's late now.
Yeah.
What are you, just hocus
Washington
pocus?
State.
No, really.
I'm just saying
the
that.
Pirates not
because that's
stupid.
when he got him.
The
Before,
Pirates aren't stupid.
He gets those kind of players,
Yeah.
so.
He'll call him up and say, you want to lead the country in passing.
Yes. Now, he's not a pure passer. He's more of he's a 6'5" guy who can really run.
Yeah.
And he can't pass, but he's a talented. But I want somebody to compete. I wouldn't sign him anywhere. See, they will.
See, that's what I said. I worried two things. One, you're 22 and they still call you Tommy. And secondly, your dad has to intervene.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either, George. It bothers me with that portal.
We want tough guys. Like
There's
I know
a million
that.
going to that
You know,
portal
we
now.
want tough guys.
That portal, everybody's filling up now. If you're not named the starter,
Quit.
that's okay. I'll transfer.
Saban's having hip surgery. That'll at least put a dent in some of their stuff. But their spring game's over, so their assistants run all
Yeah, I
that
don't
stuff.
even think anything of that. That guy's a tough sucker. I don't think that's one thing you know about Saban. He is tough.
And
He
you
is
know
a
they're
tough
going to
guy.
have nothing going to slip while
No,
he's gone.
for sure.
Remember one time I
I
didn't get my dental form. I went to the dentist and I called over. I said, I haven't got my reimbursement. They go, wow. Well, the lady's on vacation. I said, largest school in Pennsylvania. One lady goes on vacation and the school shuts down.
Yes.
I don't think Alabama football
It's not
shutting
going to
down.
happen with Saban. Huh?
No, someone's running those drills, and you better be there.
Yes.
Our NFL draft special, look for it. We've done it. We're very, very proud of it. We like to give you a few people every year that some people like, maybe some don't. But Al and I give it to you. It's what Al and I like, not these talking heads where everybody picks Alabama and they're all wrong.
And we've been super on these things.
Yeah,
I
we've
mean,
been
we
lucky.
really
Yeah,
have.
we have.
I mean, really, Peterman's the only one we really missed on in all our years, really
And who
badly.
knows about him?
And he's still in the pros. But other than that, I talked to Greg, our producer. You can watch it on our show. If you don't catch it, look on YouTube and you can put in Bottom Line Sports and look for the NCAA football special.
Yeah.
And you can find and watch it.
And we talk to you Browns fans again. Don't forget, you had your draft already. Your draft was free agency. You loaded up.
Yes, it was.
You guys are second to none talent-wise.
No one was happier on free agent days than the Browns.
No,
They
they're-
could say another one.
No, they're
Another
fans,
one.
yeah.
Another one.
Yeah.
So they're living their draft day already, George.
They got it.
They really did, yes.
Yeah. A little bit about boxing. Fox has come up with this boxing. And they're trying, I think what they're trying to do it, there's a thing called The Zone, and ESPN has come up with this Plus.
Okay.
And they're both apps for your phone or whatever, and you have to pay extra.
money,
And
right.
it just, first of all, it drives me crazy that my cable bill is already
Right.
$280, and I have to pay extra. First of all, I got a flip phone, so I'm not getting it on my.
Right.
Then there's something you put it in the back, and it comes on your TV. Well, guess what? I'm 68 years old. That's not happening.
Yeah, they're definitely not trying to appease us, George.
No, the over
You
55
understand? Yeah.
crowd is
No,
not being
This
considered.
is all for young crowd.
Young.
And we keep trying to tell people, they said the ratings are down. No, don't look at the TV ratings anymore.
Yeah.
The young people don't watch TV.
Now, what's your nephew or
they
son
never-
like? He watches a highlight on the phone.
Every game on the phone. They watch all their games on the phone. They don't watch anything.
Well, let's talk about
Yes.
that because there's a local guy there. I don't think Fox is doing a very good job. The guy who does the Tampa games, Chris Myers, is there. I don't think, and they have Ray Mancini on there, and he doesn't look comfortable. Now, Ray was one of the great boxers. And a better guy. There isn't a person that doesn't swear by the type of guy he was, and when a fight,
Right.
he fought with your shoulder on
Right.
it. Ray Mancini was a fighter.
Right.
But they're not using him in a way that his expertise is coming through. I wonder if
It's not easy to do that, though, George.
You think that's what it is?
As a commentator, he might not be a good commentator. I mean, that's just the way. And once again, it's the same thing. Just because you're a good boxer doesn't make you a good commentator.
Same what we
just
say
because
about
a good
coach.
commentator doesn't make you a good. Just whatever.
Players and coaching. Like we watched Chris Mullen, we knew he'd fail. I know Danny Manning's not
can't
going to
do it
get
either.
that done down there
Yes.
either. And I know, and it just named the player. I had nothing but
Just
bad
because
to
you have
say
good
about
math skills
Steve Alford.
doesn't make you a good CPA.
That's
I
true.
mean, what kind of, you have to learn on the job.
Yeah.
And he's not learning on the job. He was put right in
Right,
there.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
and you recognize it right away because you know boxing.
I think he's no good.
So you don't think he
I
can't?
mean, I know
can't do that.
I'm not saying he's no good. I'm saying
He's
they're
not
not
as good at everything
using him
else.
right.
He's
Yeah.
not good at that.
Let's talk NHL. We got 2 8 seeds beat the ones. We could watch the NBA from now till my hair comes back.
that's really simple.
And
It really
there's
is.
no 8 beating a 1.
Yeah, there's no garbage.
What's going on here in the
Yeah.
NHL?
Well, it isn't. That's just what I said. The NHL's number 8 is very close to the number 1s. Just they play a long season. They don't worry. They're not garbage. When you line up you put their teams first line, second line, third line. You're saying, geez, they look the same.
Is there anything to do with the fact that the starting 5, so to
Right.
speak, isn't on the ice like it is in another sport?
Oh, for sure. That's why I said there's 3 lines. There's not one line.
Talk about
Yeah,
that
so
because I'm looking and I'm thinking, there isn't a chance in the world Milwaukee could lose to Detroit once, let alone 4.
because they're garbage. Their 8 teams garbage. So that's number 1. So the 8 teams in hockey are not garbage. They're just as good. So there's no drop-off line. Wow, they can't beat them. Yes, they can. Now, sweep them is a different story, and that was crazy. It happened in 2 different things. That shouldn't happen. But they should.
What
they
with
can
Tampa
win.
Bay? How do you win all those games, the most, and then just get conked? You're up 3-0 in the first game, and
That's what happened. That is, you should describe. They lost that 3-0 lead. Kept playing, thought it was easy. The offense, nothing's easy. And once all of a sudden they're on their heels the rest of the time. Columbus's goaltender Bobrovsky is hot. You get a hot goaltender. You get a team that traded at the deadline for 4 stars, and Columbus all of a sudden is playing to their potential. And then you have Colorado knocking out Calgary number 1. I think Colorado's a team. I love their speed. I don't see any difference in them. It's gonna be NHL. That's what makes the NHL great.
Okay.
That 8s can beat 1. And it's not. It's going to happen again next year. I don't think it can happen
so
again.
I heard it Tortorella talking to his guys, and I'll admit I was ready to go.
He's been around forever.
He's crusty. His language
Yes.
is ridiculous, but he said it to him. He says, "I don't care what happens. I don't care. Do not take a step backwards."
Yes,
like,
right.
let's go do this.
Yes.
If they're better than us,
Columbus
let's
did it.
fight. And they did it.
Yeah, no question
We
about
got a
it.
couple minutes, real quick. Kentucky Derby's about 3 weeks away. We know what's coming. 20 horse field, chaos. Give me a rider that'll get me out away from the trouble, and we got a shot.
Yeah, the mid range is winning now, been winning, and that's who you want. You don't want somebody close way behind, and very seldom you want the horse goes right out in
Mount
front
quarter's
because
too
it's
far.
so long.
Too far.
Yeah, you want somebody right. There's about 3 or 4 horses in there that I've been following. We'll give them to you.
Yeah, a couple
That
weeks.
mid range are coming right
Right.
up, and they just keep the pace, and all of a sudden, down the stretch they have stop and left, George.
Yelich has started. More homers.
He's gonna
than
break
team.
records.
Well, what's he doing?
Yeah, he's going to break records. I have no idea. I'd be checking him for steroids because I've never seen a guy go from 13 home runs to hit 13 in 1 month. 1 month. So he went off last year.
He has more at home than half the teams
No, he's
do.
going unbelievable start. The greatest start in history of baseball. I've never seen anybody start like this.
Let's talk about analytics. We got a minute. Has it changed baseball? You and I don't care for it. No hit and run, no steal, no bunting. It's changed baseball completely, but it doesn't appear it's going anywhere.
It is not going anywhere. The rules are going. Yeah, that's what's going to have to change because nobody's going to go to the games. When you have every game 13 strikeouts, 12 strikes, nobody runs, and nobody hits triples. Who wants to go see a game where everybody just strike out or a home run?
30 seconds. MVP in any sport. Should it have anything to do with the team's record?
In the old days, I would have said yes. There was no question. Like the Bill Russells of the world, he played on a winning team.
Right.
So I'm old-fashioned. I think it should, unless you're Mike Trout, who's 1,000 times better than anybody else. You have to give it to him.
You heard it here. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.